right. Good deal.
Hello, hello. How's it going?
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Looks like session has been going great. I was looking
Yes.
into the Prex one last few minutes.
Yeah, we're going back to back, nonstop value. I think this session especially will blow people's mind on what you're able to accomplish with your shipping data. That is probably, it's just sitting there right now, not really doing you much good. And Akhilesh is going to show us a really amazing technology that he's created that allows you to accurately predict landed times in your for each of your customers individually in real time on the website, so that you can overcome probably one of the biggest objections, in my opinion, for purchasing, aside from price perhaps, is when am I going to get this product in my hands, right? When am I actually going to have it and use it and feel the value from it? Because if people don't believe that that's going to happen, they don't buy from you. But Akhilesh, I'll let you show the magic and talk a little bit more about predicting shipping times and costs and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to hear that. And thanks again, Derek, for the invitation to speak and share what I fundamentally believe is a huge lever in e-commerce, driving sales, improving customer relationship, and frankly, continuing to be competitive, right? And heavily underutilized. So
Yeah.
let me see if I can share my screen. There we go. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it.
And it's live.
Okay, perfect. So once again, thank you, everyone. I'm the founder and CEO of FenixCommerce, and we help retailers drive their conversion and sales, right? Leveraging their operational data. One of the things which I thought, given the time of the year, we are getting into the holidays, basically, and one of the key things as a retailer and the brands, as you are looking to come out of this season as a winner, one opportunity I want to present is how can you use your own operational efficiencies this season and frankly throughout the year to continue to drive sales, right? So we have about, I think, just about 30 minutes or so together. So let me just get into it. So some of the things which we want to cover here is what are the trends, right? And the implications getting into the holidays. What can you expect based on the research and forecast? What has happened in the last few years and what do we anticipate this year? We'll talk about how can you optimize your own deliveries for the holidays. And then last but not the least is basically how Fenix helps the retailers, right? So that is something also we can touch upon. So let me just get into the next one. So here I'm presenting a chart. If you look at the big chart on the left, it essentially talks about the holidays, right? So we are 37 days away from the kickoff, right? Thanksgiving sales begin, and frankly, if last few years have been any indication, we might see a lot of these sales starting even a little bit early because everybody wants to get in sooner and sooner, especially the big ones. So if you can see in the chart below, obviously the big ones, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Cyber Monday. In general, we have seen 2014 to 2018, the holiday sales. And when I say holiday sales, I'm not specifically referring to just the Thanksgiving Day or Cyber Monday. It's the period which kicks off from Thanksgiving Day and goes all the way up to pre-Christmas kind of delivery date, right? When people can still buy online, get it at home, or go and walk into the store and have it delivered or pick up before Christmas. Right. So as I mentioned, last 4 years, 2014 to 2018, the sales have grown at about CAGR of 14 to 18%. I mean, basically about 14%, right? And this year, 19%. And this year, we anticipate the sales to grow. Deloitte, I mean, there are tons of studies out there. We have used Deloitte as an example. Deloitte has estimated, and same is the story with internet commerce and so on, about 14 to 18% incremental over last year, right? Which is massive. This translates to about 145 to 149 billion online sales. And good news is basically that even if basically that period is right, starts, as I mentioned earlier, there are two big windows. One is the Cyber Week, which starts from the Thanksgiving Day to Cyber Monday. And the second period is essentially after the Cyber Monday going all the way to basically last day of the holiday season, pre-Christmas, right? So about 120 million of that 149 billion will be spent outside the Cyber Week. The winners are going to be the ones who can keep taking full advantage of this entire season, as opposed to dropping out early in the race, right? So essentially, that's where shipping, for especially for from online perspective, is going to play a key huge role in driving your top line and bottom line higher and higher. So with that, if I jump into it, kind of customer delivery expectations around holiday. When frankly, throughout the year, it's a big deal. When all of us have seen, when the reason Amazon is what it is, one of the biggest lever they have, and everybody's kind of trying to survive with that, is Prime. Right now, it is 1-day delivery. So how do you compete? During the holidays, if you look at it, about 77% of the customers, they have said that free delivery is a very big incentive for people to actually purchase. So I know a lot of you guys may already be offering free delivery with certain threshold. You want to look at this period and see that, do I want to be a little bit more strategic about my free shipping, right? Do I want to lower the threshold? Do I want to remove the threshold? To remove any kind of purchase abstractions for the people, the traffic which I'm going to be driving to my site, right? How do we remove the hurdles? So provide free delivery, and really look at it and see, can I be a little bit more intelligent about it, right? Next one is 29% of the people, they expect to see a specific delivery date. And traditionally in US right now, I would say majority of the retailers, including big ones, Nordstrom, Macy's, Kohl's, even those guys, they do sandbagging, right? And what I mean by that is, generally, when you don't know when the item is going to arrive, you will say 5 to 7 business days. General time of the year, it might be okay. But what happens is, when you are sandbagging those dates, sometimes, more often than not, carrier actually ends up delivering earlier. Plus also, you are doing faster fulfillment than what you're actually communicating. And if you look at the data, basically about 20% of the items, the shipments in US, they result in missed deliveries. This is a very, very painful thing to happen during holidays. You don't want to create a situation for your customers where you said it's going to be arriving on basically December 21st, it arrives on December 18th, and nobody is at home. Now you as a customer is having to chase down after the carrier, and then guess what? It is not a great experience. Ultimately, they will end up blaming it. A lot of people will end up blaming on the retailer, right? That because I had a bad experience. They will not necessarily think about the fact that carrier delivered early or whatever happened, right? So that is something you want to be very careful with. Same thing on the other side of it, which is when items arrive late, that's also not acceptable. So it is a huge lever. Take full advantage of it. If you have the ability, be very clear and try to communicate the clear dates to the customers. As I mentioned earlier, again, research shows that 32% of the customers, they will blame the retailer for failed delivery. And failed delivery means both the missed deliveries as well as the late deliveries. So so there is the opportunity also, right? Things go wrong, things will go wrong even this holiday like any other. If you guys stay on top of your game, and which is proactively monitoring how the fulfillment is happening, how many packages are at the risk of getting delayed or arriving early, proactively communicate to your shoppers, to your customers, hey, it looks like this item is going to be arriving early. And build that bond. This is an opportunity not just for the holiday. If you build the bond with the customers, guess what? It gets continued to the next year. And then you have started building that kind of loyalty loop with the customer. So take full advantage of it. Coming back to the holidays, again, 3 key things which are going to make sure that you are successful. All of you are successful. Marketing, we'll have some more data. We have a separate slide around it, that what all specifically you can and should be doing from marketing perspective when it comes to shipping and delivery. Then your operations, which is how you are fulfilling what carrier and services and so on and so forth. And the final and most important piece, and equally important, probably not necessarily most important, but equally important piece of the puzzle is pre-purchase experience. Provide the information as we just went through it to your customers as early in the shopping funnel as possible. Homepage, product page, cart, checkout. Just keep repeating, remove all the hurdles, and don't sandbag it. What we have to get it started, right? So first thing is I'm sharing this chart for the major national carriers, right? So FedEx, UPS, USPS. You see the cutoff date, which these carriers have basically already communicated. If you don't have it, don't worry about taking a snapshot or copying it, writing it down. We'll circulate this deck after the meeting to all of you, and we'll also be posting it on our website. FedEx Smart Post, for example, you can see, right, that December 9th is when they are saying that, guaranteed deliveries before Christmas, that's the last date. And then you can go all the way to December 23rd, which is FedEx overnight, which is obviously as long as FedEx has the package for overnight delivery by 23rd, it'll be delivered by 24th, right? So there are a bunch of these. If you guys work with DHL or OnTrack or other carriers, reach out to your account managers of those carriers and get those dates if you haven't already done it. The second component is, as I mentioned earlier, think about your shipping strategy, right? Do you want to offer, when do you want to offer free shipping? Think about removing, if you offer, for example, $75 or $80 or $50 for free shipping, can you kind of leverage and lower that kind of traditional shipping carrier service? Maybe if you are using UPS Ground, can you offer free shipping without any threshold between Thanksgiving and December 9th and leverage a service such as FedEx Smart Post or DHL eCom, or even like first class mail, something like that, right? That how can you be more competitive without losing any money and still provide an experience to your customers which they are expecting? As you go through it, think about the cutoff dates. Don't forget to put in your own operations time, right? That how long will you take to pick, pack, and ship? Does it take 4 hours? Does it take 8 hours, 24 hours, right? Does it vary by the day of the week? What days you will be shipping? What days you will not be shipping? All of these things you should factor into it as you are communicating, coming up with basically your shipping promotions, your marketing, your delivery, and all of that, right? Keep that into account. Moving on along, as I mentioned, for smaller things, same thing you can do. You can continue expanding, basically, right? You can expand your holiday sales window instead of relying on the lower end of it, as we mentioned, that you can use the cheaper services which are less reliable and have the early cutoff. For more reliable services, you can have later cutoff. For example, FedEx Express Saver, you can have a cutoff as of December 19th, right? So you can continue offering, for example, and same thing with FedEx One Rate, 2-day free shipping or 1-day free shipping or whatever makes sense for your own basically P&Ls. What can you afford? What can you use? Do you have the opportunity to change the mix of the carrier for this window alone? For example, USPS Priority Mail, if they have the package by 21st, and they generally have 1 to 3 day pretty good track record, I would say Priority Mail has about 92 to 93% accuracy, and they make sure during the holidays, if they pick up the package by 21st, they will try to deliver in all likelihood by 24th, actually, right? USPS takes it pretty seriously as any other carrier, right? So look at those opportunities. Can you kind of change your carrier mix a little bit, right? And take full advantage. I'll tell you, in my prior experience, when I ran shipping and returns for eBay marketplaces for 3 years, we would do anything possible at all to stretch the holiday even by a day, right? What I mean by that, you can drop out of the holiday race as early as December 19th and saying that you want no longer free shipping after December 19th, or you can stay in the game by taking full advantage of these different carrier and services where you have the rates, the dates and everything else, and continue playing and stay relevant almost as long as 23rd December, right? Stay in the game. Each day will have a meaningful impact. Some of our customers who were actually on our platform last year, and what they had told me that they had their best holiday season last year because of the Phoenix platform, which provided them this capability to manually, dynamically manage these things, right? Communicate it to the customers on the funnel. Other thing, which obviously the dates which I showed earlier, they are kind of for picking the, going back here, right, a little bit. So these dates which you see, the cutoff dates which we are showing here, these are actually anywhere to anywhere within domestic US, right? So this does not factor in the zone specific cutoff date and time. So that is something you guys should and must take advantage of. For example, if you use USPS first class, right? So typically you will see USPS first class cutoff is December 13th. And same thing for ground is December 14th. But then if you put in zone specific thing, you will see that actually cutoff is for zones 4 to 9, it's December 13th. But if you are catering to customers in zone 1 to 3, which is kind of up to 500-mile radius, right? And this is something, again, you can manage. If you can manage it through your own, whichever way you guys are managing it, obviously, when Phoenix, we automatically do it from the platform perspective. But these are the things, look at it, right? I mean, how significant is It is when you can move the needle from being a cutoff on December 13th to December 16th with the same class of service. For example, I'll tell you, right? Couple of large retailers we have on the platform, they ship from California. They don't even have to upgrade the shipping. They can continue using the same shipping method almost up till December 20th and continue offering their customers free 2-day delivery right until December 20th, right? Without anything differentiated, right? It's just leveraging the platform, bringing that experience upfront on the product page, cart, and checkout, communicating those things very clearly, and being able to intelligently driving the full, basically to your operations, right? Put it upfront, connect the back end to the front end, right? This is again some very high level the chart which we are summarizing, right? So I'm not going to go through every single cutoff date, but one thing which I would encourage each and every one of you, look at your free shipping messaging. By when can you offer kind of entire continental US, right? Like free shipping, remove the threshold or reduce the threshold, and with the cheapest shipping service. And then as you get closer in the window, later parts of the window in the holiday, instead of dropping out of the game, continue playing the game and maybe think about, can I offer guaranteed delivery by holidays using USPS priority mail, or maybe FedEx or UPS specific to regions, right? So you are not still upgrading to 2-day or 1-day service. Of course, some of you, if you can take advantage of FedEx One Rate, by all means, keep doing it, right? Every day, and just be bullish on it and see how you can take advantage of it. And this is where basically I would say every single day, just repeating will make a huge impact. Moving on along, what you want to do obviously is, as once you have connected the backend side, you know that now you are able to execute on these things. You have the strategies very clear. You want to start communicating, and this is something which I mentioned earlier, right? That from marketing standpoint, so this is 3 pillars, right? Marketing, your actual operations efficiencies, and the third one is the pre-purchase experience on the site. So when you are communicating on the site banners or email or your Google search engine marketing, SEO, whatever you do, make sure to get the message out there, communicate to people, geo-target them. If you have a cutoff for California for free shipping on December 20th, say it out. Communicate to people in California who are landing on your site, or even search engine optimization for free guaranteed delivery to California by December 20th, right? Type of thing. Same thing in an email. Continue reinforcing the same message at every single customer touch point. Again, there is the data out there that during the holidays, 68% of the people, they will pay attention to these emails. So coming from the retailers in anticipation of great deals. So you want to make sure that you are removing the shipping barrier. You want to make sure that you're communicating the date very clearly. What is the cutoff date, the last date to make it, right? Moving on to kind of what we do from Phoenix perspective. For those of you who can do it manually, absolutely, by all means, right? You should do it. What we do from Phoenix as a platform at a very high level is essentially, as I was talking about it, we take the customer information, right? Which is it a loyal customer? Is it kind of first time buyer? Is it what location are they coming in from based on the zip codes? Your own warehouse operations, right? Which is, what is your typical pick, pack, ship time? How does it vary from day to day, right? Monday through Thursday, Monday through Saturday, Sunday, and whatnot. Your cutoff time, pickup time. So we allow retailers to manage all these things very easily, and then we have our own algorithms which start picking up this information based on historical data, right? What are your package dimensions? Because you want to understand exactly how much you are going to spend on actual shipping based on the dim weights for what people have in their cart. Your inventory, where you have, should you be, I mean, in case some of you might be shipping from multiple locations, which is the best location to choose the inventory from, right? Based on where the customer is, where the inventory is located, what inventory you want to expose, what inventory you don't want to expose, right? What is the right carrier and service, which is again from fulfillment standpoint, as I mentioned, from Phoenix perspective, we do live carrier rate shopping using your own negotiated discounted rates with the carriers, right? So we have the ability to, on the platform automatically, we compare that, these are your rates with USPS priority mail versus FedEx Ground, right? Which one is cheaper, which one is faster, which one is better, and what is their historical performance. So we use our own AI algorithms to make all this determination, and then display the information to people, to the customers on the front of the funnel, right? Which is on the product page, cart, and checkout. And then we actually also provide all this information to the retailers post purchase, right? Which is post the order is there, they can log into, we are launching actually a new screen in this month. You can log into Phoenix Business Console and see what method was chosen by Phoenix, what box, what location, all those attributes, right? For each individual shipment. So when the way I think about it, it's very high level kind of, we have taken the traditional order management and transportation management, which pretty much everybody in the world who are doing big businesses, running busy e-commerce businesses, we have taken a lot of those capabilities, we have applied AI to that, and we have moved it to the front of the funnel, right? So we have connected the back end of the supply chain to the front end consumer experience, and allowing all of you guys to take full advantage of kind of your inventory, your own capabilities, right? So that's what we do. Some of the capabilities which I already talked through, basically, there is full control of showing the optimized delivery options to the customer based on inventory, based on your carrier, the service, where the customer is located, and so on and so forth. Accurate delivery estimates, right? Basically based on your cutoff times and whatnot, ability to manage these things flexibly, right? During the holidays, I'll tell you, for one of the large enterprise customer we have on the platform, they ran a big sale during Memorial Day weekend actually, and their traffic on the site certainly increased almost 2x more than what they had anticipated. They immediately reached out to us and said, hey, we are actually getting a little bit of backlog in our distribution center. Can we just quickly adjust the delivery estimate so that way people in this region, they have a little bit of buffer, and we don't want to impact, for example, our East Coast customers, right? So those are the kind of things where this platform offers you complete flexibility from operations standpoint, and just connect it real time with the front end, right? Affordable shipping options to your customers based on where, again, all of these things, they are all interconnected, interrelated, right? Marketing and promotions. And then ultimately, missed delivery. Frankly, the way I look at it is, remember what I talked about earlier, that 32% of the customers, in case of a bad experience, they are going to blame the retailer. So what can we do to proactively reach out to the customers, maybe offer them a coupon for future purchase, right? Apologize in advance. Take that opportunity to turn the bad experience, potentially bad experience, into a great one. So they want to come back and shop with you again next year, right? Those are the kind of things which you want to take full advantage of. Moving on to basically from Phoenix perspective, again, how some of the retailers are taking advantage of Phoenix today. When you see on the product delivery page, this is Chess House, one of our first original Shopify Plus customers. What they do is they have the message like order today, get it by whatever date, very clearly on the product page, right? Before even add to the cart button, right in a very prominent page where people do, if you are, for mobile shoppers, what we have seen, right? If you put the message too far below and people have to scroll up, you have lost the customer. You want to have it at a place where it's kind of visible without people having to scroll up or down. If you are using, doesn't matter whether you use Phoenix or not, if you have some sort of shipping message, put it up front somewhere where they can see without scrolling up or down. Obviously, from Phoenix perspective, we allow complete flexibility for the retailers to choose where they want to put the message. We do have very strong recommendations based on my own personal experiences and also the customers we have on the platform, what we have learned through them, right? That what is the best color, font, all those things, right? There's tons of research which has gone into it, and how you can take advantage of it. Second example is one of our enterprise customers, Jose Bank. What they do is essentially they have given all the shipping options to the people on the cart page, right? These are the 3 shipping methods, when you can get it by, the ship cost, and everything else right there on the cart page without people having to go all the way to checkout, put their entire address and everything else, right? So again, there are different versions out there, different ways you can play with this. And I can tell you, everybody has their own kind of brand image and everything, how we want to do it. Last but not the least is Men's Warehouse, another one of our enterprise customers who use our platform. Both of these guys, by the way, Jose Bank and Men's Warehouse, they ship from multiple stores as well as distribution centers. So we are doing the determination of what is the right location, kind of playing of order management functionality as well as transportation management. What is the carrier and service, and which is the most effective, right, cost effective way to do it. So this is kind of the experience which we have shown. Some of the benefits talking about what we provide through Phoenix, 10% incremental conversion end to end, 21% increase in shipping revenue, 38% reduction in cart abandonment. I'm talking about some of the average numbers, and one of the big one, right, which is, again, you will see, all of you will see this, that if you are not communicating the dates, customers will reach out. Hey, when am I going to get my item? Maybe either pre-purchase or post-purchase. If you show the dates pre-purchase, the thing is you have already addressed about 75 to 80% of the post-purchase calls, because now people, for example, if you have shown an October 27th date, people will not start looking for the item on October 25th, because that's the expectation they have there in their mind. They will start thinking about it on October 27th. And that's when they will start checking for tracking and so on and so forth, right? So those are the kind of benefits we have realized. Some of our customers, you can see here, we have basically some of the really large brands, some enterprise customers, and also some very, very exciting Shopify Plus brands. We actually work across all platforms, but Shopify is probably our biggest platform at the moment. We do have a private app, which we provide for Shopify Plus. We are continuing to grow at very fast clip on Shopify as the platform, while at the same time continuing to work with large retailers, as you can see up there. And every platform is where we are continuing to build on integration and making the life simpler. Last thing, in case you have any question with or without Phoenix, anything I can help you with, any from my own experience in running shipping and returns for eBay during the holidays for 3 years and in general, feel free to reach out, ping me, hit me up. I'm always open for any calls. I'm going to take a quick pause, Derek, here, and see if I'm still on time. I don't know if I was not keeping good track of time here from my side.
Yes. Sorry, you're doing great. I love the platform. I was so excited about it, I coughed over it. No. But I mean, it is just so cool to see what we can do with data to increase conversion rate. This is one of my favorite tools. I kind of talk about it to every e-commerce store I talk with, because I think really anybody over kind of certain orders per month or maybe certain revenue per month limits can really benefit from this. And it's safe maybe for some really complicated industries with like shipping large objects or shipping explosives or whatever else may be complicated. But for 90% of merchants, this is something that really has been a problem from the consumer standpoint. And we saw Amazon solve it. We all know when we're going to get our products from Amazon. Now it's time to know when we're going to get our products from every other retailer that we purchase from online. So I'm so excited that you're able to showcase the technology. And I love the results speak for themselves right there. 10% conversion rate.
Correct. I mean, I would say a couple of things which I intentionally, when my focus here was just to share the best practices, right, from everybody, not necessarily from Phoenix standpoint, but in general, right, that if you have Phoenix, great, you already will do these things during this holiday. If you don't have Phoenix, we may or may not be able to help you this holiday, frankly, to be very candid, depending upon the time left in this year. But these are the things, best practices. Try to do something and make this holiday much bigger than what you did last year, right? In case somebody wants to reach out, I would love to share my perspective with anyone, right? And help out in any which way, right? The benefits are huge. As I mentioned, customers will look for free shipping. Take a look at it, your free shipping strategy. How can you actually extend the holidays even by a few days? That will make a very, very meaningful impact.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I can't imagine how complex it is to predict shipping delays around the busy time.
Exactly right. Absolutely. And this is where, when we frankly tap into tons of our own data on the platform, which is historical side. I mentioned AI, right? So what we essentially do there is we have, historical data from the carrier's perspective, from some of the retailers who have been on the platform for over a year, their own performance, right? How your performance varies by the day of the week. How do the carriers and services perform, right? So those get factored in. And that's where, there is a reason why Amazon is so much further ahead in this game versus anybody else.
Yeah.
And we are building this platform where we want to sort of really remove the technology and data barrier for everybody. Right? Once you are on Phoenix platform, guess what? At some point, you'll have the same access to data and intelligence as anybody else, as we continue to become more and more intelligent from data perspective.
Awesome. Love it. It looks like we are ready to bring in our next two speakers. I'm going to promote Phil to a panelist here. He's in chat with us. Again, Akhilesh, thank you so much, guys. If you're not using predictive shipping to increase your conversion rate, you're leaving money on the table. FenixCommerce is, as far as I know, the de facto definitive tool for this. Highly recommend checking them out. I've shared a link here in chat. I'm also happy to talk with anybody about how FenixCommerce fits into the rest of their tool stack and when to implement this tool if you are maybe a smaller or growing store. And you can hit me up. I'll share a link with my consultation info. And as always, I do that for free.